So, I hope you all found my last video on Miranda rights interesting and informative, and hopefully I gave you enough backstory to understand about your Miranda rights and why they're important now and how they came to be. But on Wednesdays, it's a whole different vibe, y'all. So if you know me, you know that I am a big crime buff. I love everything: investigation, discovery, forensic files, true Hollywood story, the history behind the murders of, the most prevalent criminal cases that's going on right now. So on Wednesdays, we're going to talk about criminal women. That's right. We're going to get into the backstory of how some of these women ended up serving time behind bars. Now, I'm not going to go into the women who are clearly mentally ill or killed children or anything like that. Some of these women, I'm not going to say I revere them, but I do appreciate their gumption when it comes to getting rid of their crappy husbands, boyfriends, and lovers, okay? So on Wednesdays, we're going to do Criminal Women Wednesday, and I'm going to tell you the backstory on how all the nasty murders occurred and the women who committed those murders and the women who are serving time, along with some historical background as far as the first woman to be hanged, the first woman to be sentenced to life in prison or death row or what have you. So tonight is going to be a story about a lady named Eve Nance. So very, very sad story, but there's a good little twist to it, and you're going to be like, oh, damn, right? So I'm going to fill you in on what happened with Eve Nance. So let's get started. So Eve Nance was born in Wisconsin, and she met her high school sweetheart, of course, Tim Nance, while they were both in high school, right? Met each other when they were 16 years old. So they ended up getting married and had some children. The marriage lasted for about probably 16 years. So, contrary to what was exposed to the public, we all know, we all have our skeletons, and sometimes our marriages aren't roses and sunshine all the time. So that was the case with Eve and Tim Nance, right? So, everybody in the family knew the relationship wasn't flowers and roses or nothing like that. Eve and Tim had a hard go at it when it came to their marriage, right? So, they're married, okay? So let's go to Wisconsin, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, right? So word about town is that even though Tim was married to Eve for a long time, over a decade, Tim liked a couple of things that weren't Eve, right? One of those being drugs and the other one being other women, okay? So every Friday night, Tim would come home from work or the hustle or whatever he was doing in Wisconsin. He would come home, get ready to go back out with his woman, his side piece, his drug man, whatever. So, and Tim liked the hard dope, right? Like cocaine and stuff like that. So, Eve put up with this for a good bit throughout the whole marriage. Tim was known all over town as being a cheater and a dope addict, right? So, whenever Tim would leave, he would be gone for the whole weekend. Like, he would leave on Friday and do his thing with his side piece or his dope man. And he would come back on Monday like, hey, boo, I'm back, right? So, of course, Eve had a problem with this, because what woman wouldn't have a problem with this, right? So Eve voiced her concerns, and Tim, of course, is like, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. This is my life. You can deal with it or you can leave. And, of course, Eve never left, right? 16 years of marriage, and she never left. She just kept putting up with it, right? So one night, Tim was gone by his side piece, right? Not a side piece out of town, not a side piece across, state lines. Tim's side piece was like literally down the street in another suburb. And he ended up shacking with the woman and never came back home. So Eve called Tim's brother. And she was like, Tim is over there by that woman. Can you come with me over there by that woman, right? So Eve and the brother go over to this woman's house. Now, unbeknownst to the woman, because she thought Tim was her buku boyfriend. Like, she thought Tim was single. So they find Tim at the house. Eve goes into the house and says, Tim, come home. Tim, come home. This isn't right. You keep doing this over and over. I want you to come home, right? Tim is not hearing it. Unbeknownst to Tim, Eve has packed a pistol with her to make Tim come home. So she pulls the gun out and everybody's like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Hey, Erica. Everyone's like, wait a minute. Like, don't do that, Eve. Like, just go home. Tim will be home on Monday and y'all can work it out after that, right? So Tim's brother puts Eve in the car and they drive home to Eve and Tim's house. So Eve is like really fed up at this point, right? Tim keeps doing the same old thing. Friday he get dressed, leave, party, hang with a side piece, get high, come home. And so Eve at one point asks Tim, why do you keep doing this? And Tim basically tells her, why not? It's not like you're gonna leave, you know? And truthfully, Eve never left, all right? So this goes on for like literal like months, almost a year, right? Where Tim is just acting a fool in these streets. Remember, dope and side pieces. He loved broads and he loved his dope. So Eve's at home one night and Tim comes home. He gets in the shower. They have a bit of an argument and you know, Tim proceeds to take his shower because he got a side piece to get to and some dope to smoke, right? So Eve has had literally enough. The enough to end all enoughs, right? She goes into the room. She gets the pistol that she's had for a long time now, the same one she pulled on Tim in the side piece when she found him at the house, right? She pulls the pistol. And while Tim is showering up mid-lather, butt naked in the shower, Eve pops a two-piece in the back of Tim's head. Now, one shot, we all know one shot to the head, unless you just are miraculously saved by something. One shot to the head will drop you like a brick, right? No, Eve goes pop, pop. And you would think after that, Eve would be hysterical, beside herself. Oh my God, I just killed my husband. What do I do now? No. Eve proceeds to wrap Tim up in a shower curtain, butt naked, take him down to the car, put him in the car, drives him to Northwest Milwaukee, dumps his butt naked ass in the snow, and drives off. Now that's not the kicker, right? That's not the kicker. You would think that Eve would be like, okay, lay low, let's not make a big commotion about it, and you'll get away with it, right, Eve? Wrong. Eve decides to call the police. A couple of days after she committed the murder, she calls the police and states, hey, I haven't seen my husband in a very long time. He's been known to leave the house, be gone for a couple of days, but he always comes back. This time, he did not come back. So the police are kind of suspicious. So they start investigating Eve's story. So the family members of Tim, and of course it was beloved husband this, my darling son that. No, Tim wasn't shit, basically. But the family all agreed that yes, Tim would go off without any notice, but somebody would know where Tim was. Either it was the dope man, the dealer where he was getting his cocaine and crack from, or it would be the side piece that he was shack with for days at a time. This time, nobody knew where Tim was. So they start a whole search party. They search all of the Milwaukee greater area, and they find a black man, butt naked, wrapped in a shower curtain in the snow, because this was winter time. It was November, right? So they find him butt naked in the snow, 2 slugs to the back of the head, right? They arrest Eve. She goes to trial. So while at trial, of course, Eve is now distraught. She killed her husband. She's been arrested. Her family is torn to shreds. Tim's people are like, oh my God, B word and you horrible woman, and how could you take this beloved father and beloved husband from us like this? And Eve was like, he was anything but beloved, and he was anything but nice to me. For like 15 years, Tim would sometimes hit her, like to get high on crack cocaine, and had like buku women scattered across the Milwaukee area. Eve had gotten tired of it. So, end all be all, Eve ends up being sentenced to life in prison for the first-degree murder of Tim Nance. And as of 2019, I think it was May, she filed an appeal to get her sentence overturned. As of May of 2019, Eve's appeal got denied. She is currently still serving her life in prison sentence in Milwaukee Correctional Facility. And that is the story, albeit brief, of Eve Nance. Now let me just say this. Eve Nance's story was one of the ones that really took me by surprise, because you know when you watch these TV shows and you see these documentaries on these women, you figure, man, you could have really done something different. Eve was known to be very soft-spoken, kind of a pushover, a ride-or-die woman for Tim, until she had enough. Now, I don't applaud murder. I don't applaud violence against people of any race or gender or whatever. But there comes a time, ladies, when you just have enough. You've had enough. Eve had watched her husband cheat, get high, come home, sometimes beat her. And the ornery thing about it was, when Eve brought it up, and the fact that it was hurting her, Tim's response was, so, what are you going to do, leave? That could wear on a woman's psyche over the course of a marriage, especially if you've been down for that man for the duration of the marriage, no matter what. So, not saying that I applaud Eve for what she did, because it was in fact first-degree murder, but you got to give sister girl her props and her credit, because she had had enough, and she decided Friday night, late October, was going to be the last time Tim Nance ever left to go be with his side piece and get high and come back like it wasn't nothing. That was going to be the last time Tim ever did that, and she made sure of it. And in the most demeaning way, dumped him out like he was trash. Because he was a trash-ass man. Let's just be honest, ladies. He was trash. You know? So, that is the story of Eve Nance. I need you guys to like, share, subscribe, and comment to this if you liked it and you found it very interesting, because I have literally a boatload of badass women like this that I'm going to bring to you every Wednesday and tell you the backstory. Next up is going to be the story of Paula Angel, way back in the 1860s in Las Vegas, New Mexico. She was beautiful. She was a virgin, untouched. And Juan Miguel Martin messed with the wrong good girl. Catch me next Wednesday, and I'll tell you all about it. Y'all take care.